We are recording. All righty. Well, welcome to March Bootcamp. I'm excited. I get so excited about this class. I think because I have a lot of, if you've ever studied the DISC personalities, this class has a lot of C in it, which is the compliant, the detail-oriented piece of Mary Kay, and I have a lot of C in me. I'm a D. C is my personality type. So you have to study the personalities, because once you figure it out, it is great to be able to understand why people act the way they do. And you don't get frustrated because it's just how God created them. But this class does have a lot of details, and we used to do this actually in person in a classroom style, so y'all could interact. And I'm like, how can I recreate that with everybody kind of being all over the place in our unit? But I love Zoom because you can pop in, you can ask questions, and by the end of it, it really gets intimate. And I would love for it to get intimate before the end, and for you to ask your questions like, Casey, I'm really struggling with this, or Casey, this is what our money's been doing, and the money hasn't been working like you say it should. So what would you recommend in this situation? So I do love the questions, and I've done this class so many times for so many years that I can pick up right where I left off. So raise your hand now that Katie has figured out how to raise her hand in Zoom, and feel free to ask any questions whatsoever, because I want this to be a safe place. I want it to be a place where you can grow, and obviously to answer a lot of questions, but most of all to help you with some organization, because if you're unorganized and you're spending a lot of time scrambling around, you lose hope, you lose time, and you get very frustrated with your business, very frustrated. So anyway, I've really made my systems very, very simple. I think you're going to be like, seriously, that's what you're using? But seriously, it is. So, okay. So this is my list. It's a 21-point system of what we're going over tonight. So are y'all ready? Are y'all ready to get started? Okay. Lord, be with us tonight and have your hand on everything that I say. Okay. So I do want you to take out a sheet of paper, and I want you just to jot down some notes so we can make sure that Mary Kay Ash always said the faintest ink is better than the most retentive memory. So I definitely want you to write down notes. Okay. And I usually have everybody in the class raise their hand if they've read the Mary Kay autobiography. So raise your hand on Zoom if you've read the Mary Kay autobiography. Has anybody read it? Nobody's read it? Okay. So that is your first piece of homework, is to read the Mary Kay autobiography. And my goal this year was to read it through 3 times, our $1 million year, because it really explains the heart of this company. So your passion when you're talking to people will bleed through because you have a piece of her inside of you. So I think it's so important for you to read it. And that is the only homework I will give you. That is the only homework that I will give you. And, but I'm telling you, it is a fast read. I am trying to be a better reader. I am. I just had 2 people give me books this week, and I'm like, there's like, I'm like in a small group with church, and I'm like, I'm trying to get through this book. So, but this is a very fast read. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. You'll open up the first chapter and you're like, oh, she did what? So anyway, please promise me you will read the Mary Kay autobiography. Please promise me that. Like in 2017. Okay. Okay. The other thing I wanted to share is, and I put it in the email. So hopefully everybody has email, is your flip chart. So I want to make sure everybody has their flip chart. This is the binder. I got the binder from Amazon. You can get it from other places, but this one is very durable, and it has the easel on it, so it stands up. So this is, I'll knock you out. So it stands up. Can y'all see that? And I put the sleeve protectors in there, so you have to be careful that it's not pre-bound, and it only has 10 sheets in there. So this one, you can put as many as you want. And so sometimes I'll put my closing sheets and stuff in there. And this is what is helping us become $1 million unit because the sales are so good. So anyway, it's got the marketing. That's the reason I'm giving away the Skin Figure 8 brushes. So this is our miracle flip chart. So make sure you grab it. Get the Office Depot discount card to print it. It'll cost you less than $5 to print it. And then shipping's free on this on Amazon, but it is about $9 for the flip chart if you want that one with an easel that stands up. I used just a 3-ring binder for a while, but anyway, I went high tech on the 3-ring binder after a little while because I got tired of holding it. So that is the flip chart. Okay, how do I keep up with my customers? I'm gonna keep looking down because I'm taking notes. How do I keep up with my customers? Okay, I do I call it a 2 + 2 + 2 system. Okay. So these little boxes are like at Office Depot, they're at Walmart, and they're like less than $2, okay? I love them because they're stackable. So I've got them for multiple years, and the lids just pop right off. And what I did is you can get these little dividers. Can y'all see the little dividers in there? And I do the dividers January through December. January through December. So what I have inside of here is these are my January sales tickets, okay? My January sales tickets. And what I've done is all of my January sales go in the January ticket. And then all my February tickets go in the February slot. So my 2 + 2 + 2 means that every 2 days after a sale, I will follow up with her. The purpose of that 2-day is truly just to make sure she has gotten it out of her purse or her car and she has started using it. That is the only reason that you do a 2-day follow-up. A 2-week is when you schedule the color appointment or the spa appointment, whatever you have arranged, and make sure that is hard on the date book and that you're following up with her. The reason is you want to make sure that you are getting around her friends. So that allows you to do those referrals. You have to play the referral game at your parties because that's how you meet her friends, is at that second appointment, okay? So, and then the 2 months, this is where my little dinosaur system is so handy. So now that we're in March, all I do is I grab, and I keep these with me a lot, is I'll grab the whole stack of January sales tickets. And I start calling through them. And I'm like, hey, Christina, it's Casey with Mary Kay. How are you doing? Okay, I just wanted to follow up with you, see how you're liking the satin hands, the microdermabrasion, the renewal gel mask, and the satin lips set, and see how everything's working for you. Wanted to follow up and see if you'd gotten your lookbook in the mail, because I know the lookbook is mailed out, and see if there's anything that you're needing for your skin now that the season's changed, or if you need to restock on anything, because it is a 2-month follow-up. So I'm checking on her, see how your skin's doing, scheduling a spring appointment if she wants to try the new stuff, and then doing a follow-up with her products, okay? So if I have all of my January tickets, then it's easy for me to do that, okay? Yes, there are systems in the computer to do that, but there is something that I love about making marks on my sales tickets. I don't know. It's just me. It's old-fashioned. I know it's old-fashioned. I call it the dinosaur system. But for me, it works. And these little boxes are $2, and they stack on each other, and it really just makes life so simple. Okay? So that's my customer follow-up program. Okay? So that's how I keep my sales tickets. And I have one for 12 years. Okay? So any questions of that? Okay. My sales tickets are my profile cards. I keep in this, okay, because I've got a lot. This thing's heavy. So I do this alphabetically, not by the month, but I do it alphabetically. So I used to do them in the recipe boxes, the great big recipe boxes. Those have become extinct, like for real. You cannot find them anymore. So I had to go to this because I don't want to fold my profile cards in half. So like these are all of my A's from last year. And the reason I do it by A's or by the letters is I love to be able, if she calls me, she's like, you know what, I need that. What was that color of lip gloss that we tried? I can easily go and pull up the back of her profile card where I made all those notes. So that's my little system. I don't plug all this in on InTouch under notes, under profile cards. I just leave it here because I know I can easily find it, because all of these are filed alphabetically. I hire somebody to do that. I paid in product for a long time. I never touch this system. Okay. I have somebody that does all this for me. So that is my customer profile filing system. Okay. I got these for $2 at Office Depot. Okay. These little things. So I have a bunch of these for taxes. And then I've got this one for profile cards. So any questions with that? None? Okay. So now I'm going to share with you some money management. Okay. It's about to get intense. So just hang with me. Okay. I'm going to set up a little whiteboard, and y'all feel free to pop on here and ask any questions if you have questions. I said I was muted. I'm not muted, am I? Surely not. Y'all would have told me. Okay. How do y'all like my display here? Okay. All right, so there's going to be 4 different scenarios. Can y'all see this? Let me turn this. There we go. Okay, there's going to be 4 different scenarios of money. Let me get my notes here so y'all can see what I'm doing. Okay, so depending on if you are your team member, I'm going to be beheaded for a little bit, okay, because I've got a lot to write. Depending on if you or your team members come in with inventory, I want you to be educated on how to properly manage your money in your store so you don't embezzle in your store and you don't run your store in the ground, okay? So, because people get out of Mary Kay for 2 reasons. Either they just quit, they give up and they quit, or it's poor money management. So, okay. So the first one, I'm not sure you can see, is I'm going to name her. There's 4 different people in my unit. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see that okay? I can't see it. Pull it closer. Okay, her name is Profit Level Patty. Okay? And y'all can write all this down, because it'll make way more sense if you copy what I'm doing. Can y'all see that? Profit Level Patty. Okay. So let's say Profit Level Patty came in with a full store. She came with a full store, which is considered $3,600 wholesale, which equals $7,200 retail, okay? Retail and wholesale. Her goal is to clean 40 faces, okay? That's her goal. As a brand new consultant with that much product, that's her goal. Okay, she's going to sell $2,000 her first month, okay? $2,000. Y'all stop me if you can't hear me or see me. So that means she has depleted $1,000, okay, out of her wholesale. So I'm going to take 1,000 out of this, out of her store, which is 2,000 retail, which leaves us with 2,600 in her store, okay? 2,600, which is 5,200 retail. You got me? So if she restocks 50%, then she's going to add 1,000 to her inventory, okay? Which is going to put her right back where she started, which is 3,600. Can y'all see that okay? 3,600 and 7,200. So the great thing is she has now paid herself $1,000. She sold 1,000. She's restocked it. to her store. So she's back at a full level store. So this is a full profit making consultant that can take a 50% profit. Okay, let's consider a profit level Patty. All right, so I'm going to erase this. So that's scenario number 1. I'm going to erase this. Can y'all tell my children played on my board with non-dry erasers? They play class a lot. Okay. Then let's pretend we have, or let's not pretend, we need to have a checking account, okay? A checking account. We've got a family account, and we have a Mary Kay account. You always need to have a separate account for your Mary Kay business. Always, always, always. Okay, so if you sold $1,000 with your business, I'm sorry, you sold $2,000, so your profit's $1,000. What's going to happen is you've sold that $2,000 right here. So all that $2,000 went into your Mary Kay account. Then what's going to happen is you really need to take an extra 10% is going to be the cost of doing business. What is cost of doing business? Cost of doing business would be stuff like Section 2 supplies. So if you need sales tickets, like if you need these sales tickets, if you need customer profile cards, if you need any samples, if you go on a trip with Mary Kay, or your meeting supply or your meeting fees, that would be considered the 10%. Your Section 2 should never be more than 10%. Ever, ever, ever be more than 10%. Okay, good rule of thumb. So if you sold $2,000 and then you had your Mary Kay order, so you really would have $1,100 going to Mary Kay, because you have $1,000 in profit and then $100 in cost of doing business. It doesn't have to go to Section 2, but it could be for seminar, it could be for career conference, you know, that kind of thing. And then $900 is going to go to your family account. Okay? That is what you're going to pay your family. So whether you write your family the paycheck weekly, every 2 weeks, I wouldn't suggest doing it more than every 2 weeks, because then you won't hold yourself accountable. You've got to write yourself a paycheck. If not, your family's never going to see the money, and your family's going to get very burned out on you doing Mary Kay. Okay? So that's how you do your checking account. That's how that runs. So I, at the beginning, wrote my family a check every week, because if it came Friday and I didn't have a check to be able to write my family, then Casey got to work. I started making some sales. Okay. All right. So the next scenario, let's call this lady Building Up Betty. Okay. Let's call her Building Up Betty. Building Up Betty. Can you? Yeah, okay. Building Up Betty. Okay. She also cleaned 40 faces. I can't ever tell how far the video goes over. She also sold $2,000 that month, and she came in at $1,800. This is the level I came in with. So I relate to Building Up Betty. I didn't have a store, but I had enough to be able to show people. So if she sold $2,000, $1,000 came out of her store, okay? $1,000 came out of her store. So that left her with $800 and then $1,600, okay? $800 and $1,600. So instead of her taking the full 60% going to Mary Kay and 40% paycheck, she is going to do an 80-20 split. Sorry, this is sideways. An 80-20 split. Because at this point, this is not a store. If you've ever ran Marcia knows, that you do not have hardly any product on your shelf. So what she's going to do is she's going to put $1,600 back into her store, and that's going to leave her with, let's see, this is 3,200. And so that is going to bring her store up to, look at here, a ruby level store. And the cool thing is she started with a sapphire and now she's at a ruby. So if she does that one more month, can I keep one down? So if she takes out another 1,000 because she sold it with the faces. Can y'all see this, Lou? That leaves her 1,400, which is 24. Is that 2,800? 2,800, sorry. 2,800. And then she's going to restock, do that 80-20 split again. So she's actually going to restock 1,400. She's going to restock 1,600 here. Okay? 1,600. And that's going to leave her with 3,000 in her store. 3,000. Sorry, guys, that's so low. 3,000. So now she's at a diamond level. She was at a ruby and before that a sapphire. So as you can tell, as she's growing her customer base, she is now growing her store. At this point, she can do it one more month and she's at a full store. That's it. She's at a full store because of good money management. Okay. So any questions with building up Betty? This is what most consultants have to do, is do that 80-20 split until they get their store built up. Okay? No hand raising going on. Okay, the next one is called Half Stock Harriet. I try to pick names of people not in our unit. Can y'all tell? Bring it back up. Half Stock Harriet. How do you spell Harriet? Harriet, I think. Harriet. Is that Harriet? I don't know. Whatever. Okay, so Harriet comes in with 600, which is 1,200 retail. Let's say she sells $1,000. It's a little harder to get started when you don't have a lot to work with. So she sells $1,000 and she wants to restock 50%. She needs the money. So she wants to restock 50%. Okay. So if she sells $1,000, she's taking $500 out of her store, which leaves her with only $100 left. So if she's going to restock 50%, what does that leave us? We're going to add 500 to this, okay? So where are we? We're right back where we started, okay? So if she does this again a second month, same thing, 50% paycheck for her. She is growing her customer base, but she is not growing her store. Therefore, she is going to lose customers. She's going to lose customers because she's not going to be able to deliver on the spot when they come to reorder and not give them that wow customer experience. So you cannot take that 50% paycheck yet. You can eventually, but not yet, and expect people to stick with you. Yes, your mom's sister and best friend might wait on you, but nobody else will. My mom hasn't even waited on me, which is pretty embarrassing, but I'm just being really honest. So that's called Half Stock Harriet. Okay? All right, there's one more scenario. This one's called Embezzling Edith. She just sounds bad, doesn't she? Embezzling Edith. Okay, so embezzling Edith, she has money. She's married to a banker. She came in with $1,800, okay? But let's say she did sell $2,000 her first month, but she wanted to take a trip for spring break. So her paycheck, she wanted to take a paycheck of $1,700 her first month. Okay. So she took 1,000 out of her inventory. Okay. Y'all get the whole wholesale and retail at this point, don't you? So she has 800 left, but if she takes a 1,700 paycheck, she's only adding 300 back to her store. So if she's only adding 300 back to her store, that means she has 1,100 left. Okay, 1,100 left. So if she does this one more month, let's say month 2, the second month. Make sure you can see me. The second month. Let's say she's been traveling, so she only sells 1,000 this month. She restocks. She wants to take a paycheck of 800. So she's at 1,100. We're going to take it away 500, okay? And that leaves us with 600 left. So if she takes a paycheck of 800 out of that, she's only adding 200 back to her stock, okay? Now she's at 800. She started with 1,800, but now she's at 800. So she is slowly bankrupting her business is what's happening here. So you don't realize what's going on because it's product and there's a lot of little boxes and lipstick sitting around. But when you start adding it up, you see how your store is dwindling. And all right, y'all got all this written down. The thing that I can tell you is I have been all four. I have done all four before I learned correct money management. And there was a girlfriend of mine in Georgia. I'm coming back. I'm just getting my pillow back. My back hurts me so bad these days. Okay. A girlfriend of mine in Georgia. Her name was Michelle Byers. And she taught this money management class. Now I remember my other director friend, Heather, and I was sitting there. And Heather was laughing. And I'm like, what is so funny? She's like, I'm so Edith. And I'm like, well, I'm half stock. Like, I don't think it's funny. Like, I'm that student that wants to be a teacher's pet and make everybody happy and make everybody proud. And I didn't think it was funny. Well, Heather's like the rebel. And she thought it was hilarious. And I'm like, this is sad. Like, I'm leading consultants, trying to train consultants. And here I am, half stock Harriet, I'm taking a paycheck when I don't even have product. But there comes a time in life when you need the money, and we were at that point where we needed the money. So when I sold it, I took it. And so I had to get smart about it, and I had to start paying my family every week to hold myself accountable, and I had to order the products because the worst feeling in the world is to not deliver and her saying, well, you know what, just cancel that order. Well, you know what, let me just wait a few more weeks. You don't hear from her. She's never going to come back. So you have to take care of your business for your business to grow. And that's the reason today I was able to get all of these. These are all reorders today because I have taken care of my customers and delivered to them. Like I can say, okay, it's going out today. It's going out today. Because now I keep my shelves stocked for them, Okay. So do y'all have any questions about money at all? Any questions at all about how to run it, how to do? There's Katie. I love the hand.
Hey, okay. So obviously we want to be like the building up Betty, or, awkwardly the profit Patty. But what if you're starting out and you're broke? Like, we don't have the extra money to stock my store because, like, I have a little bit of inventory that I got from when I had my debut party. But, I mean, we can't afford. That's why I joined Mary Kay, was to be able to make a little extra money.
I know. I'm with you.
So how do you go about? I mean, obviously, I don't want to be the other two. Like, I'd much rather be the first two. So what is your suggestion on how to getting there?
Well, for me, because I've been where you are. And For me, I had to hold myself accountable to have that sales goal every single week. Like as if I was working for someone else. Like, sometimes we let ourselves off the hook because we know that there's, quote, no consequences, but there really is consequences. There really is. Like, your family's doing without, and the guilt that I had for myself because I knew I hadn't hit my mark when I wanted to hit my mark. So what I would do is I would set like a satin hands or a satin lips or whatever by the door that day. And that was my visual every time I walk by the door, my visual of, because you're at home during the day, of, okay, Casey, you have to sell that today. You have to sell that. So if I hit my sales goal every week, then I knew I could pay my family, because that's the reason I'm in Mary Kay, is I'm safety and security. I work hard to make sure my family's taken care of. So, so not having any extra to put back in it, I would say, because I had product, I borrowed money, and then I embezzled my business to where I didn't have product because we needed the money. And then I kind of had to start over. So for me, I made myself accountable. I said, okay, what if you would get fired this week? What if you could get fired with Mary Kay if you didn't sell this product? So kind of I switched my gears in my head, because sometimes we get lazy. Sometimes we get, we buy into our excuses, and we're like, it can wait till next week. It can wait till next month. And I didn't allow myself to get to that place, because I wanted my family to not have to do without, especially when I had Anderson and he was only 6 months old, with diapers and stuff. So I figured it out for myself that way. Just that personal accountability. And John was a great accountability partner for me. He's driven like I am. And so he's like, okay, where are we this week? What'd you sell? What was your goal? How much, what'd you accomplish? Like he questioned me. So maybe have somebody hold you accountable to that, and having those little wins for yourself. Like, okay, by noon, what are you going to do? How many people will you call? And then that way you're always having something to get excited about, if that makes sense, Does that help?
Yes. And I also have one more question.
Yeah.
So earlier in the week, I had talked to you about, I had sold some stuff, and I did not make any money off of it. I think I made a penny off both things I sold.
Yeah.
And so part of it too is because I'm still building up my inventory. But my thing is, I don't want to lose a customer while I'm trying to build a big order so I can actually make money. So what do you suggest to do that? I mean, obviously having inventory, but
Katie sold 2, it was Mint Blisses, right?
Yes.
Okay. I went on and looked. So Katie sold 2 Mint Bliss lotions, which are $11 this week. And she did the CDS is what she did. So CDS is $5.95. Well, she didn't make a penny on that. I mean, the lotion itself for us is $5.50, and then the shipping's $5.95. And then there's fees to charge the credit card. So it was like a wash. So what I would have done in that situation is, and I don't know these customers. So I always say, would you be okay if I order the products on Friday? And I'm very honest. Would you be okay if I order the products on Friday? And that would have given me a few cushion days to grab a few more orders. And I would have shipped everything to me. Everything to me. And then what I have is I have a massive pile. I mailed out 28 of them today of these padded envelopes. And I can mail a padded envelope with stuff like that for $2, $2.13. So it's much cheaper for me to mail it than it is for Mary Kay to mail it. And I can put a sweet little note in there or whatever, So yes, it is more work. Yes, it is a hassle, but it gets you out of the house to the post office to meet people and to get your name out in the community, So it is a win for you, and it would have saved you shipping. So instead of having $10 or $11 going out, $5.95 here and $5.95 here, you could have had everything come to you for $9, and then hopefully had more orders coming in, and then and sent it out, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. And it's just a lesson learned. But
yeah, I know.
My husband
and looked at it.
Yeah. And my husband's like, oh, well, you need to charge them shipping, but I don't want to charge them shipping because that's not fair to them. So, okay, that's a good lesson. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't ever charge shipping. I don't, because they could easily call another consultant that has it and I wouldn't have their business. So, I mean, there's consultants in Carrollton that do have inventory. So it's just I don't know. It's just the way I was raised in Mary Kay. We don't charge shipping, because it's a choice that you make, that you're having to order the products, and it's not the customer's fault that I'm out of a sweet plum or something, it's not their fault. So, anyway, yeah, I just would say, are you okay waiting, and just being really transparent with them. And if they're not okay waiting, then I have to do CDS. But Mary Kay does ship out the order, just so you know. CDS orders go first, then starter kits, then consultants orders. So just so you know, the priority of their shipping schedule, customers do get their orders first. So I have a neighbor, Stephanie, across the street, and sometimes I will do CDS. I did 2 CDS orders to her this week because I was desperate for y'all's mascaras for the orders that y'all have placed. So I shipped 38 mascaras to Stephanie's house. So I got them within 3 days. So I kind of cheat the CDS system myself by doing that. So there's always ways around it. So she'll text me. She's like, UPS is here. So I'll walk across the street and grab my Mary Kay box. So anyway, just a little tip. Okay. Is that it? All right, let's talk about, all right, Katie, I'm putting your hand down so you can lower it again. I am obsessed with that. Thank you for showing that to me. Okay, let me put this down. I have to keep these in order. Okay, weekly accomplishment sheet. These are on Mary Kay InTouch under business tools, and it looks just like this, except it's electronic. You can get hard copies, but don't get hard copies. You don't need them. Just do them electronically, and it will save you so much time at the end of the year because it keeps up with basically your taxes. So it divides everything out because your accountant is going to want to know what you spent on taxes, what you spent on shipping and handling, what you spent on section 1, what you spent on section 2. Guess what? Mary Kay doesn't give you all that. They will not give you all of that. So if you will do this weekly and submit it, even if you have some zeros in there, at least it's done. Mary Kay will have the report. You can print it out and bam, you're done. Bam, like that, you're done. So, and let me tell you, after submitting enough zeros, you get really tired of submitting zeros. So, okay, let me tell you how to fill this puppy out. Is this backwards for y'all? It probably is. I can't flip this around. Last night, peek into pink, I flipped the camera around and it was the craziest thing. Okay, so you're going to have, what does this say? The day of the party. Then you're going to have, I think I emailed this to you, who the hostess is or the customer's name. I usually put each person, if I have a party of 4, I'll put each person on there because I want to see what I sold to each person. It's just kind of, I like to track numbers. So anyway, that's how I do that. The total hours invested. So if it's just a reorder on my website, did it take me 10 minutes to fill the order? Did I talk to her for 5 minutes on the phone? So 0.05. What is the time that you invested? If it's a party, did you spend 2 hours there? So calculate your time because then you'll know what you're making per hour with Mary Kay. Okay. The next column says number of calls. Did you call all your people? That's mainly for me. Like, can I see if you're pre-profiling? Number of orders. If you had 10 guests there and you only got 2 orders, that helps me know, okay, let's talk about your individual close because there's a breakdown there. And obviously my goal is to help you increase your sales. Number of bookings. Obviously, how many bookings did you get for the week? Number of skin care sets sold. So SCC stands for skincare sets. Our products are not guaranteed unless they're in a set. So if you're selling just a cleanser or just a moisturizer or just a day solution, she's not going to come back to you. She's not going to be a repeat customer. She's not going to brag about her products. She's not going to be happy about her skin. So you have to become a master at selling the sets. And it's not pushy. Please don't think it's pushy. It's not. You just want her to be happy. You don't want her to throw her money down the drain. And that's what she's doing when she's not selling the set. So I make my products affordable. If she's buying the repair set and it's $205, I know that is a lot of money, but she can pay me 50% today plus tax, postage a check, or give me a credit card for the other 50%. And that's how I sell so many repair sets. I'll do the same thing for a miracle set. I will not do that for a cleanser or for a moisturizer. No, ma'am. And I don't collect money. I want it today. I'll get everything today so I can just have everything when it's time for me to put it into the bank. Okay? So that's how you do that. And then it says sales tax or sales less tax. So do not put your tax here. What were your sales? At my party, I sold $270. At my on the go appointment, which is like, on the go would be like you weren't planning to make a sale. It just kind of happened today. Like you're at work and you made a sale, or you were at your friend's house and she bought stuff. That's kind of on the go. Personal online website orders. They love for you to be able to track what people bought through your website so you see how your website's paying off. Shows, collection, previews. I don't really do a whole lot of those. It's like setting up for an open house. Preferred customer program. When the mail lookbooks go out, how many orders did you get from that, from people getting the lookbook? That's kind of hard to track because a lot of times they'll order online for me and I'm like, okay, is that a website order or is that a PCP order? So unless you're making the phone calls to people following up with a lookbook, it's hard to decide which category that goes in. Then this column says sales tax. Okay, so that's where you put your sales tax. Hostess gift, gift with purchase, at consultant's cost, okay? So if you're giving her an eyeshadow or if you're giving her a nail polish, then you need to put that in there, okay? That's where that would go. Product giveaway, or one section 2, one section 1, so whichever column it is. Non-recovered sales tax. Okay, consultants have a hard time with this. Non-recovered sales tax. If I give her a nail polish for having 5 guests there, I am not going to charge her sales tax on that. That was a gift. So that's where I would put the sales tax on that $9.50 nail polish in that column because that was non-recovered sales tax. So at the end, it'll calculate what the total is, what you made per hour. If you didn't order that week, you can put your section 1 wholesale and section 2 wholesale. And then on the next page, there's several different pages. I just click next. I don't care about all those other pages. And then you submit it. When you submit it, it saves it. It also can send a copy to me if you want me to see it so I can kind of coach you through a few things. But on Sunday nights, after I do my Facebook Live with y'all, I do my weekly conference sheets. I can't get on my director call with Kathy and Elaine unless I turn mine in. Like that is how important these are. So be glad you get to participate on Boxer without turning these in. So anyway, I would suggest doing them. If you haven't done them up to this point, then I would do zeros for the year and then plug everything in for this week that you've done so far. That way you're caught up. It's only March. It is much better than it being November. Okay. All right. So any questions on that? Okay. No hands going up. Okay. Taxes. Okay, how do I keep up with my taxes? I am a simple gal. So for a long time, I did the envelope system just like this. So every time I had a receipt, it went into the envelope of the month. Okay, envelope for the month. And how do you know what to write off? Well, I sent you an attachment with everything. So these are the categories from a certified CPA that does tons and tons of Mary Kay tax returns, including Inner Circle Nationals. So if you don't have one that you trust, so there's 2 questions you should ask a CPA. One, how many Mary Kay tax returns do you do per year? I think if it's less than 100, do not use them because I've had to refile my taxes for 4 years when I did not use the right person. And the other question is, do you know the difference in section 1 and section 2? if they do not know the difference in section 1 and section 2, they do not need to be doing American taxes, because ours is so different. Ours is so different because there's so many write-offs. So these are the categories. And then what I do is I put them in this. I have this. I have a black one for my receipts because it was $2 at Office Depot. So I made the little tabs. Can y'all see the tabs? I made the little tabs to match his spreadsheet, and I put the receipts down in there. So we plug them in on the computer because there's an Excel file that I sent you. And once they're plugged into that, the receipts, we file them in here, and we are good to go. So that's how I do my taxes. It's so simple. Like, it's so simple. So you can do the envelope system and divide them out at the end of the year, or you can do them monthly and do them like that. Either way, they're both great. Now I itemize everything, because I'm trying to get my income down to around 10,000, and I make that a month, not a year. But that's what I try to bring home per year in Mary Kay based on my deductions. So I have to itemize everything. So anyway, if you look at me on paper, it doesn't look like I make a whole lot, which is how I like it. Okay, so any questions with taxes? Don't ever give a CPA a pile of receipts. Ever, ever, ever. They will charge you per hour to enter those bad boys. Okay, coaching class. All right, I went over this really in detail Sunday night, so I feel like I shouldn't go over it today. But there's several ways to coach, and I went over closing. I didn't go over coaching. So coaching is your connection with your guest, and it is imperative that you coach your class, because 80% of classes and appointments that are not coached will cancel. 80%. And I don't know about you, but like when I have an appointment, I am giddy excited, not just about the sales and the team member and the booking I'll get from it, but just about the girlfriend time. Like, I just want to be in her space. So 80% of them canceling makes me anxious. So I coach it. I coach it every time. And there's a lot of different steps here for you to follow on coaching her, but it's how she bonds with you. So if she has a headache, if it's raining outside, if her dog has muddy paws, or if her cat just vomited on her sofa, she's still going to come to your class. She's still going to come because you've made that connection with her. So I do a phone call first. I want her to hear my voice, because people can say no to a text like that. But when they hear your voice, they are locked in, okay? That's the reason I use Voxer, is because y'all are connected to me because you hear my voice, not because I sit there and text, okay? It's all a relationship. Everything in life is about a relationship, okay? So I tell you when to call the hostess. And the thing is if you get a yes from a guest and she's excited about, oh my gosh, I've got uneven skin and I cannot wait to change it, because that's the one thing she wants to change. And then you call the hostess and you're like, I just talked to Susie Q. She is so excited about finding something for her face to help with those dark spots. Y'all, your hostess, if her name's Tracy is not going to cancel on you, because now her girlfriend, Susie Q, is very interested and excited about getting help with her skin. Like, Tracy will cancel on you in a heartbeat if she's not feeling well, if she can't find something to eat, or if her floors are messy, or if there's dishes in the sink. But if her friend, her girlfriend, is relying on her, she's not going to cancel on you. So I relay these messages back and forth to the hostess, We are in constant communication, okay? I make my invitations on Red Stamp. That's the free app. It's so user-friendly. It is like the greatest thing ever. And I do make a goodie bag. Here's my goodie bag. You are going to be so impressed with my goodie bags. Not. So I get the little cello bags. You can get the ones at Dollar Tree. They're clear and you can put a little ribbon on it or whatever. I put the profile card in there. And because I pre-profiled her, I put her name in Sharpie, and then I put either ND for normal to dry or OC for oily combination at the top. So in the cello bag, I can see what her skin type is, so I can squirt her tray when I get there, okay? I also put a little piece of candy. I put my business card, and I put a sample, okay? So I usually put a lip gloss sample, a color card, something like that, microdermabrasion, something like that, okay? So that is what is in my goodie bags. That's it. I always put like Starburst or mints or something so they don't melt. So that's kind of my goodie bag. There is a great coaching call on the bottom of this sheet so you can see exactly how to do it. This is from my girlfriend, Callie Brigham. She's a $1 Million Sales Director. And so you can listen to that. And then the questions that I ask for profiling, I typed out on this sheet so you can see it. So any questions with coaching? None? Okay. All right, I've got all that done down there. I put on here what you need to complete your starter kit. And this is going to help you beef up your roll-up bag and increase your sales. So we start at about $80 per face is what our average is for our unit. I've been tracking it with Power Starts for a long time. And then as you increase your product knowledge and increase your things that you're displaying at your parties, your sales are going to go up. Like they're going to be around $120 per face. But to do that, you have to let people feel it, touch it, smell it, try it, you know? So these are things that I use at my appointments. Okay. So I made you a list of them and I love all of them. I love all of them. And I get excited about them. So use your stuff and fall in love with the products, because if you're in love with it, then you'll be able to sell it because they can see the passion that you have with it. Okay. So that's what I use with my bag. And when you go to a class, I carry my starter kit bag and I carry my roll-up bag. Okay. That's all I have. So my roll-up bag, I have a little pink ribbon on it. It's stuffed full of all of my products. Okay. That's my roll-up bag. So I've got everything that I demo there. And then I've got my starter kit bag, which does weigh a ton, but I've got every skincare set in there. I've got one botanical set, but I've got the full set. I've got the Clear Proof and the Repair. And then I've got all the lipsticks. But I use these black mesh bags for the foundations. So you can put the foundations in here and take them out of the box, and it saves you a lot of room. So I would suggest doing that. And I put my trays in here too in the black mesh bags, but it holds two, and I pre-stuff them. This is how I make it very easy when you get there. So I have my tray. And then I have my cloth in here. And then I have my sales ticket, because remember my profile card is in my goodie bag. So all of this will be laying beside her tray. And that's all. I don't do mascara at my parties. And the lip gloss is going to come from the tube, and I'm going to swipe it on the tray. So I never use samples. I never spend money on samples. Samples don't make me money. So that is how I pack for my class right here. Okay. Very simple. So there's 2 in here. So I need, for a party of 4, I need 2 of these. So I'm always ready to go. So that's how I make it pretty simple. So any question on that? I don't use these beauty books because I use the flip chart, and it's just a waste of money because people pretty much just throw them away. If they want education on the products, they can use this. But I stopped using them when we started using the flip chart to keep their attention. Okay, so any questions with that? Okay. Individual clothes. This is what I talked about on Sunday night. Sorry, I got confused. Okay, so we did the class clothes, which I'm showing the sets. And I've always done sets. So these are the sets in the flip chart where they can save the bundles. I always sell things in sets. So these are the sets that I'm offering now. And once we go over that at the table, then I take people's profile cards and then I pull them individually. I say, who's in a hurry? I have everybody's profile card. Who's in a hurry? And I close her first. And then these are basically the questions that I ask. Did you have a good time? If everything was free, what would you take home? Okay, what does your pocketbook allow you to take home? For your second appointment, do you want spa or skincare? And then I see that you're a C. What is holding you back from being an A? And I want her to feel like she's in control. So I'm sitting below her. I'm always nodding and smiling. If she's a touchy-feely girl, I'm touching her. If she's a dominant person like me and like corporate America, then I am not touching her. And like, you just have to be a chameleon and mimic her body language, mimic her tone, mimic everything about her, because then you will make her feel very, very comfortable and safe in your space. So you want to be who she is. That's how you become a master at this business, is becoming like them, and they will open up and grow with you, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's how you do the individual close. Any questions with that? Okay. Next are these little handy dandy things. Okay, these are called consultant order forms. You can get them free every time you do an order. And I love these. So you never want to pull out one of these at a party. You will cut your sales in half when you pull out one of these. They're like evil. Never will you find, the whole trip to Georgia, I didn't have any of these. Never. People are like, can I see a little bit? No, I don't have any. I'm sorry. What are you interested in? What products are you curious about? What do you need help with? That's my question. Never pull out one of these at a party, because it's like, they're like, oh, you know what? I need to try that nail polish color. And I'm thinking to myself, we did not even talk about nails tonight. Like, my favorites when they're like, I want to try that brow gel, that $10 brow gel. No, I mentioned sets. Like, hello, this is what we're talking about. So when you pull out that lookbook, everybody's going to get excited about that flashy object, that $10 flashy object. And I don't want to risk my business. I don't want to gamble all the work I just did. So do not get out of the lookbook. What I will use, though, if you do not know the prices, is use this, because everything that we sell is in here, and it's divided out by Mary Kay In Touch. So all the skincares together, all the repairs together, all the foundations together. So you can look at the prices, and there's no pictures. It's fantastic. So to her, it's like, oh, that's kind of boring. I don't want to look at that. But for us, it's fantastic. So get one of these, keep it in your starter kit bag. They do update quarterly, so keep it updated because it's limited edition. And this is how you can do your party clothes, okay, without pulling out that evil lookbook, okay? Only time I'll put a lookbook out is if I have a hostess packet, and then I'll show you that in just a second. All right, PCP is Preferred Customer Program. Preferred Customer Program. That is where they send these lookbooks to my customers for 70 cents. It includes a sweet little message on the back with a sample inside. And it's fantastic. If you go to mail these, you're going to pay for the book plus about $1.40 per book is what it's going to cost you. And I promise the book won't get there. It's like rattied and torn, and I don't know. It's just, mine never worked when I mail it myself. I had to put it inside of an envelope, and then it's like $2, and it's just a pain. So here are the dates for the PCP. It's open right now, and the summer lookbook will mail on the 15th, okay? May 15th. So once the open registration closes, it's closed, it's done. You can't do it again. But you do get early ordering privileges if you participate in Preferred Customer Program. Okay? So, any questions, PCP? Sounds like a drug. Isn't there a PCP drug? Somebody told me that once. I'm like, really? I didn't know that. So, ours stands for Preferred Customer Program. All right, Hostess Packets. These are my Hostess Packets, and there is not one Hostess program that works better than another. You just have to be excited about what you are offering. So for me, being a mom of 3 kids, a husband that works a lot and travels a lot, I would not get excited about $40 in free product. That would not excite me. The 75 or 35. But I would get excited about $100 in free product. So I personally shoot for 100. So this is how they get like $20 free for doing each thing. They have to work for it. I'm not just giving them $100. But pick a program that gets you excited and run with it. Just don't keep changing it. Just stick with it. I do an outside order form. I don't give them sales tickets. I just give them one outside order form. And then I have a little sheet that says how to have a great class. Like, do not bring kids to my party. Keep food very simple. I'll be calling you to get the guest list. Like, just little basic things that are really important to me. And then I include a lookbook for that. So that is what is in my Hostess packet, okay? All these cute little cello bags are from mygirlfriendshouse.com. mygirlfriendshouse.com. You can get them at seminar and you want to pay shipping. But if you want them before seminar, they're at mygirlfriendshouse.com. All right, recruiting. So you always need at least 10 Hostess packets made and 10 recruiting flyers at all times. That way you're prepared. And when people ask you, you're like, yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got it. I keep it in my cart. At all times. So I really consolidated my recruiting information because I give them enough details for the C people. But if they're a D personality or an I personality, too much detail is going to scare them away. Like I would never have read it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if I have to learn all this stuff, then count me out. So this is what I give them, a colored starter kit bag. So these are all Google or Pinterest or whatever. They're also on my website under career opportunity, team building. And then on the back, this is also on my website, it's called Owning Your Own Business. And it just breaks down what you can make having one class or 5 classes, how to make money by moving up, or the CAR program. So it's just basically a consolidated sheet of different ways we can make money. And the prizes, the tax advantages, no quotas, so that sort of thing. So anyway, I use this sheet on the back, and that's it. That's all. So I've got 10 of these at all times. Actually, I've got about 25. I do hold the meetings. Okay. So any questions with recruiting or Hostess? None? Okay. Foundation matching. Okay. This will save you. So on Mary Kay InTouch under Product Central, you click on Foundations. There is a conversion sheet, and there's 2 pages. This is the first sheet, and it shows you all the foundations and how to match them up. And then the second sheet is like fantastic. So it tells you the undertones. So I keep this sheet with me at all times. Actually, you can probably keep those sheets with you at all times. I keep them in my starter kit with the foundations. And how do you know people's undertones? So if they burn and just burn and burn again, then they're pink undertones. It's very rare that you find somebody with pink undertones. Usually you can look at the inside of their wrist and tell if they're really truly pink, but I probably have 3 pink customers in my 12 and a half years, like very few. Yellow means they burn and then they tan. That is a majority of the Caucasian diversity. Yellow undertones, okay? So you want a lot of yellow foundations. And then olive means they just walk out in the sun and ta-da, they have the perfect tan, okay? So they are like not just Hispanics, but they are immediately olive, So that kind of gives you an idea of Caucasians are the hardest to match. African Americans are super, super, super easy. Super easy. They don't have all the undertones and issues that we have. So, yeah, that's how you do foundations. Isn't that easy? I'm like, why didn't somebody tell me that a long time ago? Okay, any questions with that? Foundations? Y'all still hanging with me? All right, class checklist. So I have somebody help me pack me for my classes, so I don't have to sit there and scramble and worry if things are in my bag. So I have this sheet printed out and stuck next to my shelf over here with all of my supplies, so I can go through and she goes through and make sure everything that's on this sheet is in my bag after she cleans it out and in my cart. Okay, so this takes all the thinking out of it. So if you feel like there's something missing from this list, add it to yours, lay it out, and then that way you are always ready to go party. Always ready to go party. So anyway, I made this for y'all to use because I had already made one for my office assistant. So I love it because it's just, for me, dummy proof. I don't do parties here because I have 3 small kids. So I don't do parties. What do you need to complete your certificate? I've already done that. All right, weekly plan sheet. Okay, weekly plan sheets changed my business. We were I don't think we had earned our first Cadillac. And then I went to a boot camp by National Sales Director Linda Tupin. And she said, to qualify, you have to turn in a 4-week weekly plan sheet, which is one of these. Like, you just track your hours every 30 minutes for a week. And I'm like, I mean, I work Mary Kate all the time. Like, I'm going to so qualify for this, you know? I was shocked after my first week how little time I put forth in my business. Because, you know, like, we get distracted at home with laundry, and then we get distracted with cleaning up the kitchen or making beds or clean the floors, whatever. So do this, track when you have open time slots, and it really makes a difference. So this was my schedule when I was earning my car as a consultant. I called her Callie, the consultant. So I had my quiet time in the morning, family time. My job was actually about 7:30, not 8, but 7:30. And then I did get off earlier in the afternoon. But my lunchtime, if you see my lunchtime, I didn't use the whole hour to eat lunch. I ate for 30 minutes, and then for 30 minutes, I made calls. Every single day, I made those calls. And then the calls that I would follow up with, I did it before I left the parking lot and my cart. I would follow up with those calls or call the rest of the ones that I need. So that was my hour of booking time. And that is what got me in my freak off and got me in the sales director suit. And then I worked either 2 nights a week or a Saturday morning. That's when I worked. Sunday afternoon. Sunday afternoons are actually my favorite because people are home and I'm not competing with weddings and many baby showers and no ball games. So anyway, I love that. And then always, always, always booking calls on Sunday night. Booking calls on Sunday night. People are relaxed. They're sweeter. They got Jesus in them from the day. And if you can make phone calls from 7 to 8:30 or 8 to 9 or whatever, that little block after dinner, you will fill up your week. When I do not make calls on Sunday night, I make no sales. When I work on Sunday nights during that hour, I can make $700 or $800 that week. So you have to set up. I mean, I've missed birthday parties. I have missed tons of cookouts. I have missed all kinds of stuff. But for me, this is a business, and I have to work on Sunday nights. I have to work on Sunday nights. So that's when I do it. I will miss birthday parties, and I will miss cookouts, and I will miss all kinds of stuff because I have to book my week. It's like I won't show up the rest of the week if I don't show up on Sunday nights, if that makes sense. So I'm very disciplined. And with the kids, I have to go sit out in the car in the garage for the peace and quiet because they always interrupt me in here. So mommy sits on the car in the garage, and you don't bother me. You don't bother me. So I'm here, but I'm not here, you know? That's how I did with kids. Okay. So this is what my schedule looks like now as a director. So kids get home at 2, which is family time. And then, at night I usually pick back up till about 9:30. So anyway, I really like my schedule. Okay. Almost done. Attitude, emotional cycle. So I hung this up in my office at my cart, and I realized that this is where we always wanted to be, was this emotional or this excitement, enthusiastic stage. But we all go through this. The key in Mary Kay is how quickly can you get through the wheel? And if you feel like you're going through fear or you're going through frustration or anger or whatever, and that you're ready to run over your starter kit because of cancellations or whatever, you have to become aware of it. It's like, I don't know, one of those, I don't know, AA classes or something, like, admit you have a problem. And then how quickly can you get through the other stages to get back to the excitement stage? So I go through these. I still go through these. I will always go through these. But the thing is I have to get through it faster, because with a pity party is A, very lonely. Never invite anybody to your pity party. It's not fair for them. And B, it should not last more than 24 hours. So you have to get through it, get through it. So anyway, hope that helps. All right, STAR. So some people understand STAR and some people don't. there are great tracking systems for STAR. Basically, it runs now from March 16th to June 15th. And depending on what level STAR you want to be, so some of you are prize motivated, and like I know Marsha's prize motivated. I don't know about the rest of y'all. And what you can do is choose a prize and then figure out what you need to sell per week to be able to hit that level. Now, once you reach 1,800, and if you have team members and they've come in with a qualified order, qualified meaning 600, then the company will automatically give you an extra 600 points in addition to your STAR points. So that's how you can get to the 9,600 level. STAR is not necessarily from selling the product, even though some people do, but most of the time it's from team building. So Maggie Pritchett, she was brand spanking new, and she finished as a Pearl, I think, at 7,800. And it wasn't because she sold $14,000 worth of product, because that's wholesale. 7,800 is wholesale. It wasn't because she sold that much product. It's because she brought in so many qualified team members. It's how she got those points. So it's pretty cool how it works. So you just don't want to get behind. So it's consistently selling $300 a week. You order 150, or ordering 600 for the month, selling 1,200 for the month, and ordering 600. And if you do that for 3 consecutive months, you got 600, then 1,200, then 1,800. You've made 1,800. You're buying 1,800 to sell to your customers, and or restocking to your customers, and that is how you are a STAR. So it really is just tracking. So at the end of tomorrow, to be on target, you need to have $300 in the system. So that is how you know if you are on target. From the 16th to tomorrow, $300. So this is a little tracking sheet. And then if you want to be a diamond STAR, it's selling $500 a week. If you want to be an emerald, it's $600 a week, and a pearl is $800 a week. Okay. I think that's it. The last little thing that I printed or that I sent y'all was my Mary Kay business system. And it was a little checklist that we used to do when we were all together, and go through and check what you feel like you're doing great and things that you could probably work on. And it's not for me to see. It's just, okay, what little pieces of my business could I improve on and focus on that? But I would love for y'all to do the Mary Kay autobiography. I think it'll get you even more passionate about your business, and so you can share the heart with your customers. And when you are on this emotional wheel like this, regardless of where you are, where's my wheel go? Here it is. When you're on this wheel, you can get around quicker because you understand where it's founded and the principles of it. So, all right. So that is it. We did good. It's 9:15. Okay. So what questions do y'all have for me? I know that was a lot of stuff, but that's how I keep up with everything. There's a lot of systems out there to keep up with inventory. I will say that. There's a lot of systems out there to keep up with inventory, to keep up with your customers. Now that My Customers app is free from Mary Kay In Touch. So I would say check it out while it's free. I think it's free through December. So check it out. And, so check it out. And you can send group text through it. I do not use it. I use a company called UnitWise, and like Unit, UNITWISE. I've used them for probably 8 or 9 years. So all of my customers' history is in there. It's $9.95 a month, but it tracks everything. It tracks my taxes. It tracks my expenses. It tracks my customers and my orders with In Touch, my inventory. So for me, I'm not going to switch because all of my history is there. And for $10 a month, that's nothing for me, like for that simplicity. And I can just get on the app and look to see if I have something in stock. So, but I think that's basically it. But do y'all have, can y'all think of any other questions that I didn't go over, or something that I went over that was a little confusing? Are y'all still there? Y'all can unmute. Hello. Okay. Well.
Hey, Casey.
Hey.
Hey. Okay, I do have a question.
Yeah.
I'm going to be that guy that's the only one that's asking questions.
Well, I love participation.
Okay, so I know I've talked to you about this numerous times about the frustrations that I'm dealing with right now, and the discouragement as far as not being able to build my clientele. So people like that I've already discussed and talked to are slamming the door in my face or not wanting to give me referrals. So my question is, how do I get referrals from people that, I mean, I'm to the point, I'm not going to say I'm desperate, but I just want to do well with this.
Yeah.
And, I'm trying, but I feel like Satan's just really, really bringing me down. And it's discouraging when, I know people are going to slam the door in your face and they're going to make excuses and whatever. But how do I get past it?
Well, we were actually talking about this Monday night at our success event, and there is a great video, because I'm a visual learner. Like, I like to see it in person, in action. So I would say, because I know y'all didn't play the referral game at your party, right? Your debut.
No, we didn't have time.
Yeah. So, I would rather skip a moisturizer and play the referral game than do a moisturizer. Mm-hmm. Like make sure that you never leave a party without referrals, because when you book the second appointment, and I don't question if they want a second appointment, you will get a second appointment with me. What type do you want? And then do you want to pay full price, or do you want to get it at a discount? Because that's how they will invite those referrals. So on the back of the profile card, and I've got the sheet on my website of the type of people that I'm looking for. Because now I've gotten very specific. I usually just say whoever, but what's going to happen is they're going to scroll A through B, and that's who they're going to write down. So on the profile card, they'll write down their referrals, and I think the key is you have to practice saying it so it doesn't seem awkward, because you're probably so nervous about asking for referrals. They're not going to want to give them to you because you're making the environment seem so uncomfortable, if that makes sense. Like, yes. Okay. So, like, we were practicing Monday in front of everybody, and I'm like, okay, pretend I'm at your party and you are asking me for referrals. And like, I could tell with the scripts of people that it wasn't flowing off their tongue, and they weren't confident enough to be able to nail it. Like, oh yeah, sure, I'll give you some referrals. I'd love to help you out. So my thing is you got to practice this piece, because and the way I say it, and there's a video off, it's called michellesdreamteam.com, michellesdreamteam.com, and her password for her website is called The Top, THETOP, The Top. And she's got all kinds of videos on there, and I can't add them to my website because she's got them locked in, but she's got a great referral game, and she has the video of her doing it. So I think watching it is fantastic. Okay. But what I do is I'm like, okay, so after I get the moisturizer on, and I'm like, okay, while we let your moisturizer dry, now you and I both know we do not have to let the moisturizer dry, but it is my intro into when I play the referral game. And I've done this for years. So I know I can't put primer on until I play the referral game. Like, it's just a mental thing for me. Like, nothing else goes on their face until I have referrals. So I'm like, okay, while the moisturizer dries, I want you to grab your cell phone, because we are about to play a super fun game, and I have some freebies to hand out. So whether it's a $5 gift card, or whether it's a free eyeshadow, or one of these little hand creams that you buy off Section 2, it doesn't matter. But grab a gift and wrap it up in some cello and a little ribbon and make it look pretty. Okay. Mm-hmm. And what I do is I'm like, okay, we're going to play a game. And the biggest compliment you could ever pay me is sharing me with your girlfriends. That's the biggest well, I don't know if it's the biggest. Like, I would love for you to say that my hair is perfect and I look like I'm a size 2. Like, that would be a great compliment too. So like, I start having fun with them, and I'm breaking the ice. So whatever you think would be funny, because at this point in the party, usually my hair is with a pencil like this, So when I say I have perfect hair, my hair is so not perfect at the party. So I'm like, okay, the greatest compliment is you could ever give me is to refer me to your friends. Well, I don't know if it's the greatest one. It really would be like, tell me my hair is perfect and I look like I'm a size 2. But the second greatest thing is to share me with your friends, because I am trying to earn a beach trip. So this is what I've been saying. I've been trying to earn a beach trip because I'm giving y'all a free beach trip in May. And I can get there by doing 100 practice facials, just like we're doing today, learning how to match foundations and gaining my confidence for the products. So if you have anybody that's nice, I really like nice people, and with skin, I would love to borrow their face. I would love to borrow their face. So I'm going to give you 60 seconds. I'm going to crank the music up, and I'm going to give you a ticket for every person that you write down. I'm going to give you a ticket for every person you write down, and then we're going to see who our winner is. Okay, ready, set, go. And so that's how I do it. That's how I do it every time. And if I'm playing the more specific game, who do you know, then I give them a sheet to fill out. So then that way it's like a 20-something, like a millennial, or a 50-something that's super positive and energetic. Like I'm telling them specifically who I want. But I have a roll of tickets from Office Max or Office Depot that's like $4. And then I'm giving them a ticket for each person. I'll draw and they get their little goodie. And I crank up the music. So I have a playlist on my phone, and it's just fun music like Justin Timberlake and Material Girl from Madonna and like fun stuff, to break the ice. And I'm like, oh my God, Tracy's already got 3 days. Is she going to win? And so I'm working the crowd. You know what I mean? I'm working the crowd. So I play way more than 60 seconds. I play until they stop writing. I'm never going to stop the referral game ever. And then I don't call the referrals. I won't call the referrals. I make sure they get the second appointment booked, and I make sure they they call the people for me, because they'll have better luck with them than I will. You know what I mean?
Now, okay, so that was one thing that we kind of messed up on when we had our debut party, because I pretty much had Adrian pretty much like do the party. And then as far as the checkout part, because I've never done this before, I was like, hey, can you finish this? Can you show me what to do? So she talked to everybody and did all that. We never did a second appointment to book for that. So that's where I'm so now I'm like trying to go back and talk to these people, and they're like, well, I'm busy. They've got baseball, soccer. I don't wear makeup, all the whatever the excuse is. So that's my problem I'm running into. And I can't find people, even though they have skin, they don't want to let me use their skin. And that's where I'm getting frustrated. I cannot get anybody to let me use their face. Oh, I'm allergic to the products, or I'm, whatever. And, they may have been allergic 15 years ago, and I always tell them, I'm like, my director is allergic to some of our products, but she can still wear some. That doesn't help either.
Yeah. Well, I think you have to keep in mind that 1/3 of them are going to tell you yes, and 2/3 of them aren't. So you might just be in the group that's telling you no right now. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like face cards, like there's 52 cards in the deck, but only the face cards are going to tell you yes. So for me, I find safety in numbers. Like you've got to go back to your wedding list, and you have to go back and work on that. And if your wedding list is 20 people, you're not going to get very far. You have to grow that wedding list. So whether that is, calling and asking people for referrals, or going out and meeting people, or doing vendor events, or doing facial boxes, or whatever, you have to find a way that works for you. Everybody's different. That works for you, to grow that wedding list, because it's always, always, always 1/3. Our third are going to.
So we can actually do like vendor.
Yeah, we can do vendor. Okay. We just can't sell product at vendor events.
Right. Okay. So, because there's a thing coming up in 2 weeks, the 8th and 9th in Carrollton, and they don't have anybody. They have somebody from Unique there, but not for Mary Kay. So I need to try and get on that. So I guess I need to get with you personally and figure out how I need to go about doing the vendor part of it, because I've never done a thing like that before, but I would love to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And maybe I can pawn people into letting me borrow their face.
Yeah. I mean, you do a giveaway and they enter for the giveaway. So that's how you get their contact information.
Okay. Okay. And should I get one of those little boxes, or should I just get
No, I don't do the box. I can send you a picture of my table.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to sign up for that then, because I didn't know if we could do that. I meant to ask you that the other day.
Yeah, we can. Absolutely. That was one of the main ways I built my business up here, was doing vendors.
Okay.
I love meeting the people. I love, because it's face to face. I'm not a big fan of facial boxes because you get a lot of crap out of facial boxes. But face to face with vendors, I can pick and choose who I talk to.
Okay, that'll work then. And then there was one more question I had, and I don't remember. Oh yeah. Does it help you to have your information on the back, as far as like on the back of your car, stickers that say, hey?
That's funny you asked that. I just had another director ask me that. Well, I recruited last month because of it, and I got 2 orders. So no, it was a week before last. It was a week before I got. So yeah, mine pays off.
So maybe I should do that then.
Yeah, mine does pay off. I cut mine down. I don't have all the stuff that MK Connections puts on it. Like, they put all this stuff around it, and I cut mine and just says Casey and my website, my phone number. So mine's smaller than the massive thing that they sell, but yeah, mine's definitely paid for itself.
Okay, then I'm going to do that. My husband's just going to have to get over it when he drives my car. I already have a pink little decal, so. Okay, that works. That's all.
Yeah. Good questions. Okay, anything else? Thank you, Katie, for asking questions.
Sorry, I'm the only one.
No, I'm glad. Okay, all right, well, we will end here. I appreciate y'all getting on, and let me know once you go through the handouts if there's anything else y'all need. All right, y'all have a good night. Bye.